Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We've made it to the finals of the Winter League 2026. And, of course, when I say we've made it, I'm referring to myself, Bry Guy, and my co-commentator, Beta. Beta, we made the finals. It's great to see you here. Great to see you here.
Yes, it's a thrilling accomplishment to have made it to the finals as a commentator. And I would just like to tell chat, we have tri-state flags tonight. That's the big theme of this race. And our runners have voted for certain flags to be activated. And those flags don't require magic keys, so they don't need keys. They have enabled the torches in battle, so torches in fairy water will work. They have strangely activated rotated mirrored dungeons, so that's going to be a bit silly. And random monster stats are turned off, so the monsters will behave at least somewhat normally and have normal stats.
Yeah, and beyond that, we literally don't know what's going to happen. So when we say anything can happen, we quite literally mean that, because aside from a couple other things, like, you know what, we have heal and hurt before more is guaranteed, and permanent torch is off. I think other than that, everything else is who knows, right? So we really don't know, aside from the flags you just mentioned, Beta. We don't know. So our runners today are going to be figuring it out the same as we are. Running today are DiabeetusThe2nd, Quinn Patrick, aaron2u2, and Zatrex. 4 people who all beat me in the Winter League, so I'll be rooting for none of them. Not out of spite, but obviously to be impartial. So we will see them as they figure out, alongside us, what's going on in this thing.
Yeah, I think based on how they voted, I would say that we are likely to see a quick seed. Like, I would be very surprised if this goes over an hour. I mean, this game can always troll. We could always see like a level 20 type of seed. But I think taking away keys is really going to accelerate things. They could very likely see a gold grind right off the bat here.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that no keys was turned on. Yeah, you'd think that you want to do some more trolling or make it meaner, but that's a very nice flag for sure. So we'll see what we got here. Oh, I guess we got one flag we know of. We've got gold, we've got a flute, and this should be gold up here, right? With no keys required.
Yeah, all the magic key chests will be replaced with gold, and since the fairy flute isn't something that's considered a key item, it can't rotate into the throne room like, say, the silver harp could. So we now know that vanilla searches is off.
And do we see all 4 of our runners duck back into the throne room to set up a potential gold grind?
Yes, we did, and more importantly, the bottom right chest gave a death necklace gold total, so now we know the death necklace is disabled and does not exist for all intents and purposes.
And I missed it. I see we've got, obviously, gold in a couple of different locations. Was it 3 gold chests and the death necklace gold chest as well?
Yeah, the death necklace gold chest was in the bottom right. I saw, I think it was like a 118 or something like that.
We were talking beforehand. Oh, there's a level real quick off of on Diabetes side. Oh, multiple levels maybe.
I saw 38 from the slime, so it looks like random rewards is on. And seeing 2 slimes in a row, it's entirely possible we have vanilla zones, and there's a red slime, so we might be looking at vanilla zones, which means the overworld is going to be weaker, the caves are going to be a lot weaker, so we could see very, very rapid exploration here.
Yeah, and, oh, red slime 82, so we are definitely going to be picking up levels and experience pretty quickly. Diabetes already up to level at least 6.
Yeah, and this is a decision point, because there's a question of how long do you stay here with you're one-shotting all of these things, of course, but it's a question of how long do you wait before you start looking for something better, because you could go to, say, like, Zone 1 or Zone 2, maybe once you can fight them, like, say, a Metal Scorpion or something like that, maybe they rolled 200, and you could just rapidly outpace this, especially if you start seeing runaways occur.
Yeah, I always get whatever the equivalent of FOMO is for this stuff, where I'm worried there's some 600 experience monster in the next zone over, and I'm sitting here grinding little 80s. So it is curious to see. You don't want to like branch out and get killed, but you don't want to hang around start for super long either. So yeah, I'll be interested to see when people take off.
I'd also like to mention, I'm seeing a lot of swamp on screen, so I tend to think that Big Swamp rolled on here.
It kind of looks it, huh? I mean, I don't know. I feel like Big Swamp would normally have more swamp than this even, but there's a lot of swamp on the screen, isn't there?
Yeah, it looks a little bit excessive. I mean, it's entirely possible they just got a little lucky with their walkable tiles at the start too. Like I don't know exactly what the percentage has to be for it to qualify as Big Swamp, but this looks like a lot of swamp. And there's no towns immediately visible either.
And as we see a few other enemies get killed, yeah, it looks like that ghost is worth a lot of money anyway, if we care about money. But was there a Drakey that was worth a whole bunch, I think?
Somebody said 241, which is that's your thing you want to fight.
I wonder where you can find them. I wonder Diabetes is looking... it looks like Diabetes is looking for him in the mountains up there. And yeah, we do see 241 from the Drakey. So he's switched now. He's not looking at those slimes anymore. He's going for those Drakeys up there in the corner.
Yeah, the Drakeys would be in Zone 1. Like, Zone 0 in Vanilla is just slimes and red slimes. And then when you step out of it, you get slimes, red slimes, Drakeys, and ghosts.
And interesting, Diabetes found it in the upper corner by Sharlock. Looks like Zatrex has it down by the swamp. So we've got a couple of runners who are going to be jumping up in experience real fast to those 241s.
I would expect Aaron to spot this fairly quickly as well. Like, if you have vanilla zone knowledge, it's relatively easy to spot this stuff.
Yeah, like we were saying before too, like, you know, the red slime's 82, that's okay. But I feel like at some point, you know, he's got a bunch of levels. You'd want to step into the next zone and just see if anything's worth a bit more. Because when the experience is random, you can find some very lucrative enemies, such as this Drakey. So, yeah, we'll see how long it takes for the other two to start exploring around a bit and finding this very, very worthwhile Drakey.
And also, at level 10, we already have 83 hit points. We also have Repel and Heal More, so this is now starting to head towards that point where I would start to get a little antsy.
Yeah, I always go in between on these seeds. It's nice to just grab all your levels early so you don't keep getting killed, especially with Big Swamp. I mean, we have a lot of survival, but yeah, I always like to grab my levels early and then just go and play the game so I don't get killed while doing all the homework. But at the same time, you can get experience while going and doing all the homework and all the quest stuff. So, you know, it's always, you know, balancing those two.
Yeah, I think the main concern with Big Swamp is that you want to have healing and you want to have a decent HP total, and once you get above 80 hit points, things start to feel pretty good, especially when you know that the zones are vanilla. So like the worst enemy you can see on the overworld now is a green dragon, which means you should be able to get away relatively easily.
Well, so far, I think, well, Quinn Patrick, I believe, was looking around a little bit, but yeah, definitely all three of our other runners, have kind of settled in, and they are not looking to go anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. They're quite content to grab this opening experience.
I would expect somebody to push. If Hurtmore shows up at level 12, I would expect an immediate push. Like, I would certainly go at that point, because with the zone knowledge, you know that the exploration is going to be easy, and you're not really afraid of anything. Like, the worst zone in Vanilla is the Hawksnest zone, which is Star Wyvern, Green Dragon, Wizard, and Werewolf. That's it. And also, we saw an ability come out from a ghost, so we know Vanilla abilities did not roll on.
Ooh, so we can still get back attack and DL2 breath by random little things that shouldn't be scary to us.
That is exactly right. But we do have Repel, so... Now, with Drakey's giving 200 plus, do you really want to cast Repel? I mean... See, that's why if you start pushing once you get hurt more, I feel like you can get away with repelling and not really caring so much about the experience anymore.
Yeah, it's that same thing where I get worried if I cast Repel, I'm going to miss the big 600 experience monster or whatever. Another thing I'll say, too, about this is that you do know the Drakey's always going to be here, so if you push out and you can't get experience while doing all the questy stuff, you can always come back here and pick up levels on the Drakey pretty much at will, right? So, yeah, we'll see how much longer they kind of preemptively grind here, but Diabetes and Zatrex are definitely just loading up on this experience right now.
Of course, the one caveat to this grind is all of these monsters can run away because they have way more than enough strength to get that 25% chance to run. But Aaron has found a town, and for the first town he finds is Hawksness. That is perfect.
Every time. That's the only thing we've really seen so far, right? Quinn and Aaron have pushed out a little bit, and I think Quinn only found Swamp, and Aaron has located Hawksness, obviously. Hawksness would be much more interesting if we knew that was vanilla searches, right? Vanilla chests and searches, because you know your armor was there, but I don't think... I haven't seen Aaron's stats. I'm not sure we're ready to quite punch a Hawksness spike tile yet.
Yeah, 55 is a bit light. I mean, you could alternate hurt and then heal more against, like, say, an Axe Knight and maybe get through it, but that's about it.
And we'll point out that when Aaron did find Hawksness, he was very low on resources, so that, yeah, nothing was going to happen for him on that last trip. I wonder if he's going to sit down for a grind or if he's going to head right back there. We'll see in just a second, I guess.
I think one of the other things we can rule out is that we do not have a very small map. I mean, one of the tri-states, it's not a tri-state technically speaking, but we have random map size on, which means you can have normal, which is 120 by 120, small is roughly 90 by 90, and then you have very small. And I think it's pretty clear at this point we don't have a very small map.
I hope we don't, because Aaron, I believe, just walked over the coast, and I think he's setting up the patented Aaron reverse count. So, yeah, if it's a different size map, it's going to be messy for him on that. But I think you're right. It doesn't look like it's a small map, does it?
And Miplet in chat asking if it's an Axe Knight with vanilla zones. Yes, that is correct. Because we know it's vanilla zones, we know that the Hawksness guard is the Axe Knight. We also know that the Swamp Cave guard is a green dragon, and in Charlock we have the Golem, but we started with the flute, so we're not too concerned about that.
I was about to say, are you just about to imply that the flute's useful? Where's DK when you need him?
I mean, it's very likely to be useful. I mean, the Golem could be nerfed for all we know, but I mean, like, if you're going for a game, are you gonna gamble on, like, if you never see a Golem in the sea, which you won't with vanilla zones, by the way, the Golem in the Charlock spike is the only one you're gonna see. Are you gonna gamble on that guy being nerfed and not play the flute? I mean, I don't think I would do that.
And one other thing, no, of course not, but speed hacks are on, so the flute will take you all of like half a second to play, so you're gonna do it every time. Meanwhile, Aaron has found a cave, and I believe he swamped south based on his bogs.
I honestly don't know. With rotated dungeons on, I honestly don't know. Oh, werewolves have DL2. That's important. That's very important. Because we can see them on the overworld. Like, they're, as I said before, they're in the Hawksness zone in vanilla, and that zone can roll onto the overworld. And we also know they're going to be in Charlock as well.
So Diabetes' first trip out into the world, and he got DL2 breath back home. I wonder if that's going to get him to want to get more levels. I'm sure he's going to go back out and explore some more, but that's a rude awakening to the world.
So this is really fascinating. Like, we have this heavy commitment to grinding, and the people that have poked around have seen nothing of value. Although level 14 did come with Radiant, so Zatrex now knows he can enter caves and actually see how the layout looks.
Yeah, we've had Perm Torch on for so long with the standard flags. I'm not sure I remember how to dark nav anything anymore, but it doesn't even matter because they have rotated mirrored dungeons, so I'm not sure I could do that anyway. And yeah, Radiant's pretty big here. Also pretty big, Diabetes has found Hawksnest, and he has a lot more resources than Aaron did, so I wonder if we'll get a check here. If we'll be able to kill it and see what's on this tile.
Well, the vanilla zones means that the Hawksnest zone is the Hawksnest zone.
Or I guess I mean what's on the search spot is what I really meant. But yeah, here's that Axenet you meant. Yep, so... Oh, just baby breath. That could have been real fun if that was something else. But yeah, looks like Diabetes is probably going to be able to... Oh, not heal more and chop through? Okay.
Interesting. And Aaron found Garanham, by the way.
Oh, and with no keys required, we can go check out the back of Garanham, the treasure chest, the cave back there. Yeah, I'm a little confused about Diabetes. I mean, he could have used the hurt spell, but he seemed like he was doing fine even just attacking him. But maybe the baby breath just wasn't sure about the number of heal mores he had or something.
And in breaking news, by the way, Garanham has full plate and silver shield. So Aaron is very kitted out for defense. Although at 74 defense, he's not going to be able to repel werewolves. At least not yet.
Oh, looks like Zatrex has found that same town and about to get the same discounts. Well, at least the discount on the silver shield. Oh, did Aaron find a treasure guard behind Garanham? This could be quite lucrative as well. So Garanham gets you a half-price silver shield. It gets you, oh, a green dragon that puts you to sleep. Well, that's troublesome.
That is, if you're a runner, that is very infuriating. Because, like, I don't remember where he was on the map to get to Garanham. Obviously, it was probably a fairly significant walk, and to just get trolled like that and put to sleep when you know it's an item, that's not good.
I guess at least you know, so you can throw the stop spell now or something. We'll see if Zatrex has better luck. Well, Zatrex is going to find out about the sleep earlier with more HP, but let's see if he's able to get through this green. Oh, wakes up and stop spells. So with his heal more, he should be okay here now.
Yeah, this should be a gimme at this point. So we're gonna see shortly what this is.
I mean, I guess at least if you're trying to make Aaron feel better, there's a 3/5 chance this is just some quest item and not super urgent. But yeah, if it's the armor or the sword, you're feeling kind of bad. Oh, it's that one. It's the armor.
That is really rough. Like, you really do not feel good dying there. And then once you see what's there, you definitely don't feel good with all this swamp stuff on the map.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see how long it takes Aaron to get back there, because I think he's in some sort of rotated mountain cave, right? So we'll see how long it takes him to get back to Garanham to grab that armor. At least he knows about the sleep now, but yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, this is definitely a rotated mountain cave. It's one of the few rotated caves where I feel totally comfortable navigating it. I absolutely hate the grave on the top floor. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anytime I walk into a rotated or mirrored dungeon, it takes me forever to get my bearings. Once I kind of figure out which way is which, obviously, then it's like, all right, fine. But it's so much lengthier than I ever expect. And it looks like it actually took us to Mountain 2, so no stair shuffle, right? I don't know if we knew that before, but no stair shuffle, it doesn't look like.
Well, it's a small sample size. There's still hope that maybe this just happened to be Mountain 1 into Mountain 2. But, yeah, the early indications are stair shuffle is off.
That would be so mean if stair shuffle's on and they just happen to connect together perfectly.
I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, I don't know offhand what the exact odds are, but it's certainly possible you can have floor 1 go into floor 2. And also, skeletons are worth 196, by the way.
Looks like Diabetes has found the grave, and it has not much of interest on the top.
And to explain to chat the treasure guard situation, so tri-stated treasure guards behaves exactly the same as a tri-stated summer sale does, which means it's on a per item basis. So if you see a treasure guard for one item, it doesn't mean you're going to see it for other items.
Aaron in Mountain 2 has found a Star Wyvern, and I don't know if we've seen him before, but Aaron has thrown many, many stop spells at him, and I don't know if this is a callback to the Green Dragon or if we actually have seen something from the Star Wyvern before, but he's not messing with this Star Wyvern and spells.
I should point out that Diabetes did the thing that I always do in Rotated Grave. He picked the wrong stair because it's impossible to know which one you're supposed to take, and he ended up in that weird part of Grave 2.
Right, because it's literally a square, yeah. Diabetes also going with a little bit of a, I don't know if I'd call it a gamble, but he is checking the bottom of Grave, which there's only 2 down there, but I think in his way of view, we haven't found anything yet, so he wants to get those checks out of the way, and I saw Quinn walk to the grave, not super close by, but Quinn took the top 3 and just bailed from there, so.
This is definitely a scenario where I would agree with... When you find something, clear it, because this map doesn't seem particularly friendly. And Aaron got the token from underneath that Star Wyvern, by the way.
Yeah, and maybe more importantly, he's heading back to this Green Dragon to exact some revenge, and he'll be sad he got his armor, but it didn't, I don't think, delay him too long. He'll still be second to the armor, so... And Zatrex also has found Mountain Cave, so he'll be getting his token in a moment.
Yeah, so we definitely have a bit of a split in how this is playing out between the 4 runners. Like, we have significant XP for Diabetes. He's at 6,600. Well, Zatrex is right behind him. And then we have Aaron and Zatrex with the lead as far as the items are concerned.
And Diabetes, I didn't see what was in the bottom there, but it was not treasure. It was not a thing we needed, right? It was it a fighter's ring?
Yeah, fighter's ring. It's... I mean, you don't say no to that, but it's unlikely to play a decisive role here.
Yeah, and it's not really what you were diving Grave to find. Like, you'll take it as a consolation prize, but it's definitely consolation.
Although I guess I should point out that since we know that the Death Necklace doesn't exist, if you look at their stats, they're approaching 130 hit points and they're only at 70 strength, so they're probably not going to be particularly thrilled that the Death Necklace rolled off for this seed. It's going to force them to take extra levels.
Well, at least we know that somebody voted for Enable Torches and Fairy Waters in battle to be on, so at least we know we can chuck Fairy Waters to the Dragon Lord to help us out a little bit. Meanwhile, Diabetes in Mountain, so we know he'll do his checks and he'll find his token in a moment.
I'm trying to decide, like, how I would have voted in this situation. Like, do you, in the metagame of being in the finals and having a couple votes, do you vote to make it easier for yourself, or do you vote to make it harder for your opponents?
Oh, I know. I always throw Stair Shuffle on because I feel like that's a flag that I hate less than everyone else. I think that's what I would start choosing. I'd start choosing flags that I hate less than other people hate. Not necessarily good flags, but...
Like, personally, I think I would have voted to disable the rotated dungeons because I hate it so much. Like, it's just a quality of life thing for me. I just completely hate that flag. Like, I don't care if it doesn't convey much of an advantage for me. It's just like, I just don't want to rage at the game any more than I already do.
So Aaron, discovering some interesting things. He killed the Axe Knight in Hawksness. He was granted, what was it, 356 experience, a bucket load of experience, and he was gifted a sword. So, is that spike tile close enough to consider a grind later on if we need to? I don't know, we'll see.
It certainly is if you have hurt more.
And we do have the hurt spell, so we're hurt more eligible. Only a few more levels where it could be hiding.
Yeah, and by a few, it's either 15 or 16 because the seed knows, and yeah, it might not even be a situation where you have to do a spike grind by the time you get hurt more if it comes at 16. Like, 16 might be it, although with the strength sitting at 70, I'm not super optimistic about that.
And also, don't forget, with all these random rewards, there's a chance that, we see our first night down with Zatrex side. As we're cleaning up the rest of our homework and such, we might find something worth even more that's even more lucrative, so always possibility.
Question in chat, where are Harp and Stones? We haven't seen Cole yet. Have we seen Cantlin? I don't think we have.
No Cantlin I've seen.
And I know we've seen at least a couple cursed belts, so we know something other than Hawksness exists as a search, and Zatrex has found Cantlin now, so we're about to get some info. I assume coordinates are going to exist.
Yeah, I think they have to, right? Because as you mentioned, we only have... Well, I guess we have the Remolder chest, right? Remolder chest, Cole, and the coordinates, so I guess the coordinates don't have to exist, but there's a pretty good chance, yeah?
Yeah, I would strongly favor hunting the coordinates and Cole over a single chest down. And here are the coordinates, 22 south, 42 east. I'm assuming that's walkable. I haven't been paying super close attention to the map itself, but I assume that's walkable.
Yeah, from what I remember, I agree with you. I think that is walkable, and of course, with the Death Necklace disabled, and with the Fairy Flurry found, we know that's going to be required, so everyone will be doing that walk.
So the question now is, once you've seen that Axe Knight gives that much, do you just completely commit to casting Repel while you push out and get your exploration done, with the intention of coming back to Hawksness to do all your grinding at the end, or do you keep taking random fights in the hopes that you can pick off a few triple-digit enemies and get your levels while you're getting your items?
Yeah, what I was mentioning before about hoping I find something big in the next zone, I mean, like, are you going to find anything bigger than 356? Like, odds are pretty low, so yeah, at some point you just have to settle in and say, here's what I'm going to do, and just hurry up and finish the homework and get to your grind as quickly as you can. Oh, Zatrex with the play of the game, walks into Brecconary and walks right back out. Take that, Brecconary.
I am a strong proponent of the Brexit, and Aaron has found Cantlin. So now Aaron is about to get info as well. Diabetes just took down the Green Dragon, so he gets Erdrick's armor. He's up to 87 defense now, by the way. So we are just about ready to repel Green Dragons.
And more importantly, we're repelling that werewolf, right?
Yes, we are repelling the DL2 werewolf. And question in chat, have we found both turn-ins? I do not think we have seen Staff Cave yet. We do know the Rainbow Drop is underneath Tantagel.
Yeah, so as a runner, I would be hoping, I mean, the coordinates aren't that far away, but I'd be hoping that as I wander over those coordinates, I might find a Harp Cave, I might find a Coal, I might find a Remolder, those kind of things, but I would expect we're going to see some coordinate checking soon by Aaron and Zatrex, who got the coordinates. And oh, there's a Harp Cave right there, by the way.
The question is, where is there? I see the bottom of the map, so it's somewhere to the south, I guess.
It's right in by all that swamp. You see Aaron doing a count now. I think with those coordinates, I would imagine He's just regular counting. I don't think he's really going to reverse count those coordinates. So he is going to be on his way to the overworld item in just a moment. Oh, or maybe not. There's a little river in the way there.
Well, that's a bit of a complication. And it looks like Hurtmore showed up at 15, so Quinn is deciding to take his levels now, and then he's just gonna do repel and find everything. But he doesn't have any gear other than Erdrick's sword.
Yeah, he's the only one that hasn't found Cantlin yet. Not Cantlin, Garanham. I don't know why I always mix those names up. He's the only one that hasn't found Garanham yet. Once he does, he'll be able to, I'm assuming he'll be able to afford his silver shield, but also, of course, more importantly, get his armor.
He hasn't found Cantham yet. He hasn't seen either one, so it's Cantham.
If I remember correctly, Garen Cantlin was just past Hawksness, so I think as Quinn goes and explores here, he'll probably go into this cave, this mountain cave, and then he'll find Garanham very shortly after. Oh, unless he winks.
And the search is the Silver Harp, so Aaron just needs the Stones of Sunlight, which I'm going to assume are in Cole. Like, I think somebody said there was a useless item in Rim, so we know that the stones are in Cole, and we have no idea where Cole is.
Oh, had we seen Remolder? I totally missed it if we did. I think, yeah, I mean, Cole's probably more likely, but I didn't know we'd seen Remolder.
One of our trackers, RG, said that there was a torch in Rim, so I trust them.
When keys are not, it's very funny, when keys are not required, I just don't care about Remolder, so I just pay it no heed when keys aren't required. But Zatrex has found Cole, so we're about to get the answer to our question. Oh, there's a treasure guard there.
And that confirms it.
So we collectively have seen everything, but I don't think any runner has all the pieces, right? Aaron still needs Cole and the stones. I don't think Aaron's seen the harp yet. Zatrex, I believe, got the coordinates, so he needs to go get his harp. He might be the closest to seeing everything, right?
Yeah, Zatrex is in a clear lead right now. But he has to recognize that the coordinates have something. He might be doing a princess rescue. I don't know. I don't know how confident he feels about the count.
I was just saying, was it Zatrex who found Cantlin? Zatrex who found Cantlin, or was it Quinn? I remember seeing on that side of the screen. If it was Quinn, that'd make much more sense, right? Preemptively rescuing the princess while you look around and such. P.S. Aaron trading in his harp for the Staff of Rain, so only one more piece of homework for him.
I'm fairly certain Zatrex found Cantlin. I think he found it right before Aaron did. But he hasn't seen Hawksness yet, interestingly enough.
Oh, okay. So that's what he's looking around for. Got it.
Yeah, it does fit the behavior when you still have a remaining location you need to find, and it's a search location. You generally want to clear your exploration first.
I have to give a big shout out to Swamp Continent, living up to its name. I believe it was a small island filled with nothing but swamp, so kudos to you for reading the script, Swamp Continent.
And that was a whole lot of nothing.
So Zatrex is just looking for the coordinates at this point. Oh no, the coordinates in the sword. Aaron just needs Cole and the stones. So yeah, they're kind of quickly wrapping up all the homework here. I think Quinn just needs basically Garanham, right? And what is Diabetes? Oh, Diabetes needs to go south to get the harp and the stones down there.
Yeah, Quinn is plot itemless, but has all the gear he needs.
Oh, Quinn's been in Was Mountain Cave? Mountain Cave was on its own. Mountain Cave wasn't behind Garanham. I guess not.
I think Mountain Cave was just sitting out on its own.
Oh, and Aaron has wandered into Cole, which means he's going to have his last piece of gear. Or items.
Yeah, so with Aaron having the Axe Knight knowledge, I would say he's in the lead now, effectively. But if Zatrex wraps up exploration within like the next 2 to 3 minutes, it'll be very, very close between the two of them.
This is one that I think is going to be real interesting or fun to see. Aaron trailing in experience a lot, but he's done all of his exploration. He's gotten to the grind quickest. I kind of like to do this, get to your grind fast and just sit there and catch up on the experience. And obviously, as you said, with that Axe Knight, Aaron's going to catch up on his experience real fast. And so while everyone else is trying to clean up the homework, find the quest items, etc., Aaron's going to be popping off for 350 whatever every time, every couple seconds. And that experience is going to tighten up real fast.
If only we had vanilla abilities and the Axe Knight was throwing out the 25% sleep just to aggravate them.
As expected, Aaron is wandering towards that Axe Knight. Diabetes looks like he's in rotated Mountain Cave, right? So he's on his way to the token. When Zatrex has found the grave, which since we know he's missing 2 things, he's going to, yep, he's checking the bottom as well, makes sense.
No, Diabetes was in Swamp Cave. He went and got Gwalen as a preventive. Although he has a check mark, so it looks like he has coordinates. Maybe he saw that maybe he thinks that the coordinates are going to be across a river or something, which is pretty smart, actually.
Oh, rotated dungeons got me again. Yeah, that still looked like Mountain Cave for some reason, but...
And unfortunately for Zatrex, this is going to be a time sink doing the grave clear, but you absolutely do it in this case if you haven't seen Hawksness yet and don't have full belt knowledge.
I guess one thing to point out about Aaron that I had forgotten about, he had less experience, so he's lower level, so he does not have Hurt More yet. So he's going to have to wait to... He's obviously still going to pick up 350s relatively quickly, but yeah, he's going to have to wait a little bit before he just Hurt More, collect 350, Hurt More, collect 350, and, you know, rinse and repeat.
Aaron was committed to stop spelling the Axe Knight, so I'm assuming... I haven't paid super close attention to the Axe Knight. I was like, the Axe Knight have a spell, but apparently not.
Seemed to recall the Axe Knight had baby breath, but that was the only thing I remembered. As these runners continue on, Diabetes looks like he's heading to Hawksness for some maybe grinding. I'll point out, I'm a little disappointed. It's a finals race, and all 4 of our runners combined have a grand total of 4 total deaths. I feel like we gotta up that a little bit. I don't think that's good enough. Only 1 death per person. Way too kind.
I'm honestly not all that surprised. Like, if you have a setup like this where it's vanilla zones and you don't have chaos enemies, and you have walkable tiles at the start with like an easy grind off of slimes and red slimes to get a whole bunch of levels, like this is basically a given, sadly for us.
Sadly for us, but fortunate for our runners. So Quinn looks like he's counting coordinates, I think. Everybody else has, well, not only seen the Axe Knight, but is currently murdering Axe Knight. So it's kind of funny. This is what a regular, like, standard race would look like, right? You find an Axe Knight and a Spike Tile and you enjoy, except this time around, you really, really enjoy because it's worth 350 experience.
It is interesting that Diabetes is opting to do this grind before getting the plot item and doing that end of it. Although I guess it doesn't really matter one way or the other at this point. Like, the defense stat is so high that it makes no difference for Repel with vanilla zones. Like, you're not going to see anything stronger than a green dragon. So whenever you want to get your item at this point, you're repelling everything.
So as we sort of, there's a couple of plot items still left to hunt down, as Zatrex, I'm guessing, is looking for coordinates in that harp at the moment. We see Quinn counting across that kind of annoying river in that one gapper there. It'll be kind of interesting to see as we move into the grind phase when people decide to go, because the reminder for how these are scored, this is 2 races, and it's your total overall time amongst the 2 races. So you don't have to win them both. You just need the lowest time overall. So you don't necessarily want to gamble on a borderline level and risk losing by 20 minutes, right? You'd rather, come in second by a minute or 2, that's fine. You can make that up. If you start gambling on a low level and losing tons and tons of time, that's harder to make up. So I'm really interested to see when we decide to go here, if we decide to play it a little more safe. Quinn, nice count to get his harp.
Question in chat, is there a max time for 4th? Yes, it is 3rd place plus 20 minutes is the worst time you can get. So once you go beyond 20 minutes after 3rd place, you can forfeit and it makes no difference. Although I imagine the time gap in this race is going to be relatively close, all things considered.
Yeah, given that not even 40 minutes, we're talking about grinding and when should we go. I don't think anyone's finishing 20 minutes after anybody else, but yes, that is the max.
And it looks like 17 is clear go. It doesn't matter if you have fairy water. This is go as go gets. You have a range of 6 to 12, and you have an absolute boatload of hit points and MP to play with, so the only possible resistance here is whether or not red dragons and armored knights are dangerous, because we know we're going to see them in deep Sharlock with the vanilla zones. We know that that's coming.
I was about to ask, where is Aaron going at level 15? I think he was just dropping the rainbow drop because he had it. Diabetes is... Oh, right, he turned in the princess, so he's on his quest for the harp, and then he'll go get all of his stuff, since, as you mentioned, he knows he's pretty free and clear on 17.
And Quinn got kicked out of the Jerk Cave because he doesn't have the token yet, and he just realized he doesn't have the token yet.
I just realized, too, thank you, Jeff and Chris, yeah, we have a lot of unknown flags, and so not only was Aaron dropping the rainbow drop, but he peeked into Sharlock to see what it was, and we were on the top floor as normal, so yeah, no short Sharlock for us.
It's certainly a heads-up play to do that, although I feel like I would just commit to grinding and then wait and see what the levels show me before I do something like that, because it's like, if he's on a level that's kind of marginal, I could see doing that check right now, but if the level isn't even marginal go yet, then like I just get my grind out of the way and then make that choice as to whether or not to poke my head in, because it's like level 15 statistically, like, since they can't use the death necklace, it's like it's nowhere near go.
I think, I wasn't watching him super closely, but I think he had either, like, death warped or gotten killed, whatever, and was on his way back to Hawksness. I think he just went that way back to Hawksness to peek in and check as he went back to his grind. He kind of worked it into where he was going anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't leave a grind to go check that.
And Diabetes has picked up the Staff of Rain now, and so he is about to be full go.
Yep, he just has to wander to the back of Tantagle to grab his rainbow drop, and he'll be heading slightly north to dive on into our long Sharlock.
And Aaron has hit 17, and he's continuing to grind. I wonder if he's just dumping resources here and hoping 18 is insanely good, but like I feel like 17 was very clearly go.
And I wonder if this is one of the classic, like, how it won't take me that long to get 18. Let's get 18 to guarantee it. Maybe it costs me a couple minutes in this, but I don't want to get looped into trying at 17 and losing over and over again. I mean, in fairness, he's what, like, only 2 Axe Knights away from level 18, and the time it's taken us to talk about it. So, I mean... Oh, I mean, he's there.
He also doesn't have the fighter's ring, and that level just gave him the equivalent of the fighter's ring. So there's that little element of it, but I think even at 123, like I don't have a simulator like some people do, but I think 123 with that much HP, this defense, I feel like that's plenty.
Yeah, I think I didn't notice he didn't have the fighter's ring, but yeah, I can see it from both sides. I mean, in fairness, it did take him barely a minute to grab it, so maybe you just say take it and, you know, hedge your bets, make it safer for the overall time sort of thing. But either way, he's going to be hopping into Sharlock about a floor behind Diabetes.
This is certainly within RNG for encounter luck. There's no question about that.
Oh, I think both of us well know that one floor in Sharlock doesn't mean anything. We both are well aware of that. All of us are well aware of that.
I can't even walk to Sharlock, so I wouldn't know.
One little twist, and it's not a big thing, but with the randomly rotated and mirrored dungeons, the Sharlock walk does look a little different. That does trip me up from time to time. I feel like when I enter a Sharlock floor, I gotta stop for a second and figure out which way I'm supposed to go. I don't think that'd mean, with these runners especially, I don't think that's gonna make the difference, a full floor's difference, but it is kind of weird and unsettling, for me at least.
And unrelated to the Sharlock dive, but just looking at Quinn and Zatrex, Quinn is about to get the token, and Zatrex is about to get the harp with the Gwaelin positioning system, assuming he's in the right landmass. I don't know if he is. He might be is he on the wrong landmass? Does he need to go to the right?
Yeah, he hit that river, I think. There's like a river in the way of the count. I think everyone's been counting south and then east, and if you do that, there's a river that gets in your way. And so you got to go kind of up and around. I think I saw I believe it was Aaron who was doing reference points across that river. So Zatrex just hit the river, and I think now he's got to go around this little bay and back down. So it's going to be a second before he gets to his harp. But I think he has like a, 3K experience lead over Quinn, so...
Also, let's point out that Red Dragons have sleep, everybody, and they are in the bottom zone of Sharlock, so this is a problem. This is a big problem.
As I recall, with vanilla zones, they're pretty prevalent in the bottom, aren't they? Aren't they like 2 out of 5 in the bottom?
No, actually they are 1 out of 5. The Armored Knights are the ones that rolled 2 slots in the bottom zone, and then you have the Stone Man and the Wizard as the other 2 enemies.
I mixed up which one was the double. Gotcha. Here's that golem. Diabetes playing the flute, of course. I didn't catch the tune, but the golem liked it. It's sleepy now. So Aaron lost to heal more to that red dragon, right? But Diabetes still has his full complements.
I think Aaron should still be fine at 14 heal mores. Like the doubles math is really strongly in his favor here. Like I would expect something like 3 doubles.
That sounds right for normal luck. For me, I would somehow get like -1 doubles. I don't know how that's even possible, but I'd find a way. So yeah, very close here. Diabetes starting his DL1 fight, and Aaron on the spike tile, and now through the spike tile. So there's not going to be much between them. Diabetes with a clear lead, but not much between them.
And it looks like Zatrex is going to have a bit of a lead on Quinn entering Sharlock. But Quinn only needs to beat like 4 of these Axe Knights to get to 17. And Diabetes starts his DL2 fight. I think this fight is basically free at this point. Some people might say I'm premature in saying that, but I'm pretty confident with the math here.
definitely like it. Anytime we see multiple DL2s on the screen at the same time, we're certainly in for a close one at least. Yeah, Diabetes. I think, yeah, you're right. I think they both should be okay here. We'll watch for doubles and such.
The problem for Aaron is he came in with lower MP and he got ambushed. So his fight is a bit more questionable, I would say. Although I still think he's a reasonable favorite. And he's already getting a double, so this... I would say that it should be fine.
Not to distract too much from the DL2 fights, but I'll point out that our third place race, well, presumably for third place, Zatrex and Quinn, they are entering Charlock one floor apart as well, so that is a barn burner also. Which again is important because it's not points for finishing place, it's overall time. So again, if you finish second by 20 seconds, you're not feeling too bad. Again, it's easy to make up next time, so...
Now, Zatrex didn't do the search command. He put stairs, and it says there are no stairs here. Like, this is concerning.
Just keeping us all in suspense. Looked like he was just, his screen was hanging, I guess, or something.
Yeah, there's like a... What was that? Like a full 30 seconds or so? I was just like, wait a minute. And Diabetes has taken down the Dragon Lord, so he will finish this race in first place. Largely on the back of that grind commitment, I would say.
Yeah, with 3 heal mores to spare, too. So yeah, he was plenty good to go. Aaron finishing up as well, but your GG's out for Diabetes. Sub 50, I believe. And Aaron a bit closer, losing that heal more and all, but he's fine. He's through as well, so he's going to be tight on the tails of Diabetes.
And Aaron still had at least one swing to spare there, too. So even with the rougher dive and resource issues and ambush, he was still fairly safe, I would say.
Yep, and the difference was, what do we got, 23 seconds? So, yeah, you don't feel too bad in that case. If you're close to first, you take that. 23 seconds is very, very easy to make up in the next race. So GG's to both Diabetes and Aaron. Really fun to see them, as you were saying, Beta, like kind of different strategies, different paths to get to basically the same place. Oh, looking on the right side of our screen, Zatrex looking for... does he have the fighter's ring already?
It looks like he does, like his... Maybe he wanted fairy water? I mean, this fight is... With 15 heal mores, this fight should be totally fine, so... Looking at these items, I don't know if he forgot that he didn't have something?
I wonder if he might have forgotten about the 100 gold treasure chest at the start. Maybe he was looking for the death necklace. And as we're watching the 3rd and 4th place race here, Diabetes, welcome in. GG's. Nice little run there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's just taking a glance at the race room and what we have left here. It's pretty much what I expected. Everyone's going to finish stacked on top of each other, and that's going to make Sunday that much more exciting.
Yeah, we were talking about with your race in particular, how you were really committed to that grind early on. We were kind of wondering when people were going to set out and explore. Any thoughts on that, on kind of the decision tree there?
Yeah, it's kind of a tough one. I mean, there weren't any overwhelmingly good enemies. It was nice to see that it was vanilla zones right away. It would have been nice if the Drakey was accessible a little bit more easily than literally a stupid 2-tile vertical walk, which I absolutely hate, especially on hilly tiles. So there's that little hitch in your giddy up. But once I had healing, it was like, do I I mean, Radiant would be nice just to be able to get through caves since we didn't have a starting torch or an obvious town right away. Hurtmore would have been nice too, just to push things out of the way because, you know, the stats were okay, but you can't really fight a whole lot without a weapon. And then neither of those things came by like level 12, so I was like, well, I guess I got to get going.
Yeah, and just a quick question before we head on over to Aaron. Quick question, chat. They're asking about the Axe Knight and Hawksness the first time around. Was there a reason why you didn't want to chip away at him the first time?
If I had heal more, and that would have been the question, I guess. Did I have heal more? If I had heal more, that was a mistake. If I didn't have heal more, that was the reason why. But yeah, that could have just been a mistake.
Gotcha. Well, it didn't end up hurting you in the end, I guess. But Aaron, welcome into GG's. Very close one. Only about a 20-second gap behind Diabetes. We pointed out that won't make too much of a difference as you head into the second race. And we were mentioning you kind of had different feelings on that, different paths on that. You kind of favoring exploration first there.
I was exploration first. Wow, because I felt like sitting on slimes and red slimes to level 10 was kind of conservative.
Well, I was going to say, when you got to the grind, obviously everyone hung out on that Axe Knight. I think when we got to the grind, you were at like 3k. When you were at grind and go mode, that was much less than everyone else when you got to grind and go anyway, so that's...
Oh yeah, and shoot, I guess I went a level... Did I end up going a level above? I can't really tell. Because there's a big win sign over at Diabetes.
Yeah, you did. The reason why, I think, is because other people had the fighter's ring, so put their attack bar at 125, which is a cleaner math situation, I would say. But I think at 123, I think you're still reasonably fine, although you did get trolled pretty heavily by the red dragons in the bottom zone. I don't remember, Diabetes, did you see any reds in Sharlock? I don't know if you did.
I don't think I did. I think I only saw the Armored Knights and Stonemen. And they didn't troll me, fortunately.
Yeah, so the red dragons, because of course, the red dragons did have 25% sleep, although Aaron probably thinks that sleep is 50 at least.
Yeah, I mean, that first red dragon I saw, when it had the chance to use either, you sleep every time but one. So that was fun. But yeah, that was the purpose of the extra level. I felt like the attack was fine, but knowing Vanilla Zone's Vanilla Zone Sharlock basement is really awful. So I thought, you know what, this Axe Knight is, we're just ripping through these guys, so let's just go ahead and do that. And yeah, chat's pointing out the 3 crits in a row on Axe Knights was hilarious, and then I think I had one normal swing and then another crit right afterward. I don't know what that was. That was very fun luck, though.
Oh, 3 crits. Let me know you get dodged 3 times in a row. That's the pros over here do. I get dodged 3 times in a row. Try that. But Quinn has finished up. Get your GGs out for Quinn. He'll finish in 3rd place, about 6 minutes behind Diabetes, and Zatrex, again, about 20 seconds behind Quinn, so a couple of very close finishes here.
And we should point out that Quinn won on 17 without the fighter's ring, so essentially Quinn went on the level that you could have gone on there, but I mean, yeah, it's like when you have an easy spike grind that is dumping 300 plus XP to you and you can just get the level in like 90 seconds, with a time format, with a cumulative time format, it makes total sense to take out the possibility of a disaster happening at the bottom of Sharlock. So I can totally see the rationale behind that. Unless like the rest of the seed has gone really poorly and you feel way behind, I feel like that's totally justifiable.
Yeah, and I peeked into Sharlock early to see if it was short or not, because if I knew that was short and I had that level 100%, I would have went, just because the death penalty wouldn't have been so big. But plus, I kind of wanted some extra MP. I forgot I had a fairy water. I kind of wish I wouldn't have used that, because, I don't know, could have helped. I mean, I had one extra swing at the end, so you take away that one heal more, and I think I win on the last swing, assuming the hit points and agility we gained on that level 18 didn't matter. So I don't know. I felt like for at least what I ended up getting, that wound up being the right decision, even if it was ultimately a little bit slower.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned during the race, as some people were saying, "Oh, Aaron's getting 18," and the time it took us to basically say, "Oh, Aaron's getting 18," I wonder why. You basically had 18 already, so it was like a minute or two at most. So did not make a huge swing. And as we welcome in Quinn and Zatrex, welcome. GG's to you both. Close finish there as well.
Thanks. Yeah, I pretty much made every possible mistake that I could have made in that entire seed, and yeah, I'm pretty much dead now, huh?
Oh, not necessarily. I've definitely blown 5-minute leads before. Yeah, we did notice that the jerk was kind of a jerk to you, huh, Quinn?
Yeah, and I totally, like, I went down the stairs in Grave, emerged in the vanilla spot where you normally go, and went, oh, Stair Shuffle's on, and left. And then went the whole rest of the seed thinking Stair Shuffle was on until I cleared the entire mountain cave and went, that mountain cave felt pretty vanilla. Oh wait, all those rooms in Grave that I just spent, like, 3 minutes exploring were all the vanilla rooms. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Also, it would have helped immensely if I had seen Garenham the first time I went that way instead of the second time. I think overall my map exploration was pretty good. My count was pretty good. I got that on my first try. If I didn't get that on my first try, I wouldn't be done for another 10 minutes. But yeah, that's not how I wanted that to go at all.
I would point out that a 6-minute gap can be certainly made up in part 2. You guys have chaos monsters and no numbers awaiting you, and I fully expect a lot more death to occur in that seed, and I also would expect a lot of death to occur potentially at the end of that seed, because you don't really have a strong reference as far as what's going to happen with a Chaos Dragon Lord.
And Zatrex, you had kind of a, I want to say a similar thinking to Diabetes. You two are the big, I want to say grinders at the beginning of the seed. Choosing to grind early and then get all the homework done with those higher levels. How did that work out for you? How did you feel about that seed?
I mean, my main reason for doing that was to grind to get Radiant, so I didn't have to worry so much about the rotated dungeons in the dark.
I mean, doing the rotated dungeons with just bonking with no light at all is pretty much impossible, right? Unless you know how they're rotated in advance.
Man, I was saying during the race, I don't know if I could even dark nav the regular dungeons anymore. We've been blessed with Perm Torch for so long. I don't know if I can do the regular ones. The rotated ones, yeah, good luck. So I'd love to know who was the nice person that blessed us with that flag. But yeah, Radiant was huge in that seed.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'll be curious to see what the big difference was, because there's obviously a a pretty clear delineation in the results. So, what was the perceived difference maker between the 50s and the 56s?
I mean, I don't know, maybe Beta or maybe the other runners would have an idea on this, but I think it kind of came down to just exploration and who found things in the right order, so to speak, right? There were a bunch of, they're kind of different, do I grind first, do I explore first, but that didn't really cause a delineation, I didn't think so.
Yeah, I know I lost some time on chords because I was going to do a landmark and then could not find my landmark as I was walking around looking for a spot of desert that I had marked across the river. And then I was like, well, I'm already walking in the direction of Princess. I might as well just go save her at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I already explained where all my time went. If I had, correctly identified that Stair Shuffle was off, I would have done Mountain Cave right away and gotten my token, and that would have saved minutes. Maybe it wouldn't have put me in the lead of the race, but definitely would have, made it so I haven't basically destroyed my chances of winning the tournament.
I think as Beta said, the chances of winning are, I think, still pretty very open for all of us. Speaking of somebody who's been in the finals before and may or may not have finished like an hour behind in one of the seeds one year, so.
Oh, who blew that hour lead to you in that year? Who could that have been? I can't think of who that was.
Hey, I still didn't win that year.
Oh, I thought I thought I blew the lead to you.
Probably part of it, but I did. I still only finished second last year, sadly. I think it was the one before that. I believe it was a Beta Angel tiebreaker that was what 23, I think, and I was fighting the stupid Spike-Tile Wizard for like an hour. While everyone else was like watching a tiebreaker race, I was still plodding along knowing that I was out.
Yeah, it was a different format for me in the finals, but I'll say that in both my finals appearances, I won the first race and I was runner-up both times. So don't count yourselves out, especially with the nature of the flag set that's coming, because you just don't know. I mean, even under the best of circumstances, even if this upcoming seed wasn't a no numbers seed, I still wouldn't be super confident in calling anything right now, because chaos is notoriously volatile both at the beginning and at the end of the seed.
And yeah, I want to piggyback on what Beta said. I'm pretty sure the last person who won game one and actually won overall was Holmes, and he won game one and then finished last in game two and had that three-way tiebreak with High Spirits and Angel, and that was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something crazy. So I'm just saying that you're cursed, Diabetes. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But if you guys were wondering, I would say the only real negative thing that happened aside from nearly getting killed in Sharlock by Red Dragons was I got to the Green Dragon in Garenham the level before Stop Spell and like 60 experience or something before Stop Spell, which was really unfortunate.
I was already level 16 from the Armored Knight before I got to Garenham.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Once I got Stop Spell, then I killed the Green Dragon. Then I went and got the Axe Knight, and I thought about grinding him, but I looked at my defense and saw that I had enough to repel like everything short of Star Wyverns and Werewolves that would be in the overworld due to the vanilla flags or the vanilla zone. So this is probably what caught me up a little bit, is that I just repelled. Every step past Mountain Cave until I got to Cole, I was repelling, and all I saw was like 3 Star Wyverns. So even though I probably fell way behind in experience, there was a 300 and some experience Axe Knight. So that's my guess. But who knows?
Yeah, I would probably say on my side too, it's going to be an order of operations thing. I stuck heavily. It sounds like Zatrex that also kind of sat on the grind for a long time. I apparently made a potentially catastrophic error in not fighting through the Axe Knight when I apparently already had Healmore and had forgotten that I had it. So I didn't realize that it was as ridiculously powered in terms of XP as it was, because I was like level 11, I think, when I found that. So I ended up grinding all the way to 15 just on random stuff, walking around. So there was that. I explored to the because I didn't kill that, even though I had coordinates. I went all the way to the second continent. Didn't take very long, but that was, a minute of walking around that didn't need to happen. When I was done, I forgot to pick up the drop and had to go back. Fortunately, it was a short walk. So, I definitely left some time on the table there, but I imagine that it's just going to be an order of operations deal here. And to Aaron's point as well, maybe throwing Repel up and avoiding some of the, even though they were, worthwhile enemies to fight numerically, when you have an Axe Knight like that, if you don't know it's there, man, anything that you're doing that's not that is just unfortunately bad.
Yeah, that was the bit of a discussion that Ragai and I had during the race, was that once you have the Axe Knight knowledge, do you just sit on that and then repel away everything to get your stuff, or do you keep walking around and taking random fights? And I think we both definitely agreed that the right thing to do would either be just like keep repel up when you're looking for your stuff and then go to the Axe Knight, because it's worth so much and it's so quick, and that was basically what Aaron did, and it really paid off for him. And if it wasn't for the Red Dragons, Aaron would have finished first here. Although I guess if we're going to get on this alternate timeline situation, Diabetes, if you had fought through the Axe Knight the first time you got there, I would assume, knowing you, you would have just stayed there from that point on and then gotten your levels, and then you're just like, all right, once you get to, say, a level away from what you think Go is going to be, so like, say, level 16, then you just fire up Repel and go get everything else, and you probably finish like 5-6 minutes faster if that's how it played out.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Grinding forever and then deciding to play the game.
Yeah, last location is Hawkness, so I don't think I had that option until the very end.
The question I have for all of you is, how angry, how annoyed were you at the end of this, knowing that the Death Necklace was completely unavailable to you, given what your stat lines were?
I just saw level 17 and was like, well, that's Go, and went instantly. I saw like 18 MP, and it's like, yeah, I mean, my rolls were, I think, pretty awful. We had like 123 attack or something like that. 122. I guess they weren't that bad. I mean, I didn't see any 10s or 11s. I maybe saw 110. But yeah, I mean, the treasury was hilarious. That it was like all gold chests except for the Death Necklace, which was off, so it was also a gold chest.
Oh, did I not? I did not catch that.
Yeah, that was like I was like, wait, no, we had it was the fairy flute, and I know there's a way that the fairy, the key items can get launched, but not the fairy flute in certain combos into the throne room. But I'm like, that couldn't happen in this one, so it took me a moment. When I saw the Death Necklace gold, I'm like, okay, so this is not vanilla chess, 100%. Like I had to kind of rack my brain on that one a little bit.
Yeah, I had to be like, okay, the second chest in the throne room was gold, and that would be a torch if it was vanilla. And one of the chests was definitely like the lower value Death Necklace chest. So it's definitely not vanilla chests. It just kind of looked like it was.
Yeah, I came really close to picking Stair Shuffle and Vanilla Chest as a combo, just so that everyone would have to go dig out the harp and possibly the sword to do the Stair Shuffle. But I didn't, because I assumed, and I know Zatrex is curious about this one, that a bunch of other people were going to pick Stair Shuffle, and I didn't want to even touch on that. So my picks were to turn keys off and to turn the throwables on, because I did not. I don't know. I don't like random percent, and I thought I could pick two flags that would minimize variance in the seed, and that's what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to get 10-15 minutes off of pace and feel real bad going into week 2 or into the second race. So those were my picks, and so there were two other total flags on between the three of you, I guess.
I picked Stair Shuffle on and random stats off.
Well, that is very obvious then that I turned Stair Shuffle on as well. That's why we ended up with it tri-stated.
Yeah, because
I
turned it off.
See, I was very much in Aaron's mindset. I think either last year or the last time that I was in, or whenever we did random percent, it's like I want to decrease the variance because I think I can win if I could just play well and don't get messed up by bad RNG. And it's like, the whole game is RNG, so let's just worry about. I'm totally comfortable doing Stair Shuffle. I don't necessarily love it, but I'm comfortable doing it. Rotated dungeons don't mean anything to me either. That's fine. Maybe everyone else won't be as comfortable with that, so let's turn those on.
Yes, I sent GF my predictions for what everyone else did, and I got 1 out of 6 right. Because I said Zatrex would turn off Stair Shuffle, but I didn't predict he would do it twice.
You didn't think I would turn on Stair Shuffle?
I almost picked that one, but my 2 votes for you were to turn rotated dungeons off and to turn monster stats random on. So I was 100% wrong on you in that I predicted the opposite of what you did.
Why did you think I
thought
would
for sure
want
was going to say no to the rotated
You think
dungeons.
I'm some kind of weenie?
I just figured honestly, I figured you guys weren't as familiar with the dark dungeons, and me and Diabetes. Like, I thought about doing mountain in the dark, even though it was rotated. Like, I figured out it was mountain, and I knew I would be able to figure out which direction to go with about 8 wasted steps, but I didn't bother because Seed was moving too fast, and it felt like it would be too slow. But I figured that was a flag that... Because I actually thought both you and Zatrex would turn off rotated dungeons because of just the lack of familiarity with the dark walking. That you wouldn't want anything to do with that combo.
How would you even know if like stair shuffle rolled on if you tried doing that? How would you figure out what way the basement rotated?
I had completely forgotten about stair shuffle at that point. It wasn't even in my head, so if that happened, I would have been like, oh crap. But I had outside, so, worst comes to worst, I could have hit that button.
Yeah, it was kind of the same situation for me. I had walked into Grave, walked into Mountain. I knew both were what they were on the top floor. I mischaracterized Grave as being vertically rotated because I must have gotten stuck on the walls, as is often the case in DWR. You get, you push up and you don't go up, you just bonk again on the right side. So I thought it was rotated vertically, so I just noped out and went back later, but it was the same deal. I had outside, so I wasn't too worried about it. Plus, you can die in there pretty easily. Well, maybe not with the stats we had with vanilla monsters, but still. Other floors would have been a problem, potentially, especially if Stair Shuffle were on. Especially without any nearby towns, most likely. I guess if somebody found Garenham first, you could have had torches, at least to poke around. But without torches even, that would have been pretty tough to do any floors except for the top one.
I think all this flag discussion's kind of fascinating that I know Aaron mentioned it and several other choices were to reduce variance. And I feel like I think someone in chat kind of mentioned it too, that in effect what that did was that gave us a jet seed here, and not really sure that made today matter, right? Because as beta, as we've hinted at a couple times here already, race 2 coming up on Saturday, I believe. Sunday. Sorry, Sunday. You've got so many things. You've got random chest locations. You've got chaos monsters. You have no numbers. 5 minutes, 6 minutes disappears in a blink of an eye in that. So it's kind of interesting that it's really still anyone's game, given that flag set that's awaiting you guys on Sunday. As we look ahead to that, any thoughts on how that might play out?
I'm not optimistic that both Aaron and Diabetes will encounter calamities that put them behind me by 6 minutes. But maybe Zatrex will finish behind me again, and I'll dodge last place.
I mean, with that sword.
I mean, with a flag set like this, I think as multiple people have said, it's like 6 minutes is nothing. I mean, just a exploratory Dragonlord, like dive in Dragonlord fight where you realize that your stats aren't good enough to win. If somebody else finds an extra level or 2 out and can win it on the first try, that's 6 minutes easily right there. Not to mention anything else that happens in the seed. So it's really tough. I think my prediction was that this race, pretty much regardless of how things rolled, unless it was something super crazy or the seed was very dumb, where one person found one specific enemy or one specific zone in some remote place, or a terrible stair shuffle that ended up with some crazy path to a critical item. I figured this was going to be the stacked together result race, and then the next one is going to be where it's wide open, and who knows what's going to happen. So I think this one pretty much went how I expected. It was going to be, about an hour and not too terrible in terms of variance, but we'll just see what happens. It's you don't get to week 8 without doing something right along the way, and I think all of us have shown the ability to kind of cope with the craziness that can happen here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens Sunday night.
Yeah, I have no words of encouragement for any of you. I hope you all suffer, and I do really well, because I hope we all do well, but I hope I do weller I don't know. Whatever. I consider myself to be the villain this time around because I'm the only one that has the title. So I'm actively playing to with that sort of mindset. I'm here to ruin everyone's fun, and hopefully, if I don't, then I hope you have fun, and if we do, but I do want to thank both Beta and Ryguy for doing comms for this one. It's great. I look forward to listening back. I don't hear either of you do commentary enough, and I think you're a couple of the best. So hopefully I get ripped a couple of times here and there for bad play, because that's what I look forward to.
Oh, and if anyone knows what bad play looks like, I know exactly what bad play looks like. Don't worry. Also, Weller's a very delicious alcohol. I agree entirely. So I approve.
And I can tell you guys how to give away 6 minutes in a Chaos Seed, since I certainly did that in the semifinals, which is why a couple of you are here.
I think I just have one final question for everybody regarding Saturday's race. One of the flags or Sunday, I keep saying the wrong day, Sunday's race, one of the flags it's on is bonk damage. Every bonk's going to cost you 2 HP. Anyone planning on killing themselves with bonk damage after beating the Dragon Lord to get home that way? Because that's really the pro way to win if they're bonk damage on. Anyone going to do that for us on Sunday?
If we had half HP bonk damage like the Flux that originally had, maybe, but 2 HP is going to take a long time. So probably not. Unless we, you never know. Maybe we won't have return somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty much only if you don't have return would be the only scenario where you'd do that, I think. Although it does give us another way of counting how much HP we have with no numbers. Because before you could do it in a swamp, but once you got the armor, you couldn't do that anymore because it would protect you from the swamp. But the bonk damage works even if you have Erdrick's armor, so...
Yes, just bonk 50 plus times. That sounds like fun.
Well, for figuring out how much HP you have, it might be worth it.
The one thing I've come to appreciate about the bonk flag is how many times I will kill myself with bonks instead of using the swamp. I call it the anti-Slamu. Slamu will just dive into the swamp to die, but I will run into things. I'll run into the ocean to die. I feel like that slight twist makes the flag semi-enjoyable to me. But it's all going to get eclipsed by no numbers. That's the big one. So with chaos enemies, and it's just especially with random levels, there's just, you don't have any idea. Like, you're looking for spaces in the, like, how many empty spaces are there until they put the period after where the number is supposed to be, and trying to interpret all that, and you end up playing by mouth feel, which is something Ziggy would say, and he will say because he's doing commentary for that race.
I mean, to be fair, running into the ocean eventually will kill you in real life too, so it seems appropriate that it would kill you in this game also. But that was all I had. Beta, do you have anything else, or any of our runners have any last words before we wrap it up here?
I just hope they encounter significantly more resistance Sunday night, and I fully expect a funny race for those of us watching, and I expect it to be suffering for the 4 of you.
Thanks for the restream, guys. And I don't know what to hope for on Sunday. I guess I hope that it goes very improbably well for me.
I'll just say thanks again, as always, to the cast and crew. GG to my fellow finalists here tonight. See you all on Sunday, and best of luck both in prep and in the race.
Yep, fun race. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Yep, thanks everybody.
All right, so that'll close us on out here tonight. Thank you, GGs, to all of our runners. A span of barely 6 minutes between first and fourth, so very tight one here tonight. Thank you very much to our restreamer Camion and our trackers RG and Shihali. And for me, Rai Guy, and Beta, my co-commentator, thank you again for being here. And we'll see you on Sunday night.